This is KGW News at
But there were
sunrise.
fights, there were safety issues, and those issues were causing a disruption in learning. This isn't something that we've gone through before.
Problems at a local middle school lead to a surprise announcement catching many parents off guard. The school is shifting to distance learning.
Plus, more help on the way for those recovering from Oregon's wildfires. People who lost their homes now getting support from others who've already gone through the rebuilding process.
And how many of us could use some help when it comes to finding a better work-life balance?
Me.
Well, I'll tell you who's doing something right now. Portugal. Not the man, Portugal the country. Portugal is taking a new approach, passing new laws that will put restrictions on when a company can reach out to its workers. How about that?
Yeah, we want to get you in on that conversation. That's coming up a little later. But first, Mr. Relaxation, Rod
Picture
Hill
this.
is here.
Rod Hill in this kitchen. You guys join me. I'm sipping some orange juice, and I go, hello. That would be a good work now.
Can I say something real quick? Ron
Yes.
doesn't check his email at work, let alone at home.
Well, that's fair enough. All right. So this story does not impact me. Is that what you're saying? 29 in Hillsboro right now, 32 up in Scappoose, where it's 40. Hello, Gresham. Hello, Troutdale. East winds have already started to blow. So we have frosty fog pockets around. East winds are coming. That will clear the fog, and the sun will help warm the temperatures up. But east winds, if you get them, boy, that adds a bite to the air, as you know. So to the bus stop we go. Some frosty fog pockets around, generally temps in the 30s out the door. East winds will be blowing today, 44 at noon. We might just get up to 50 degrees with sunshine when the kids get out of school.
All right, Rod, thank you very much. Well, students at a local middle school just learned that they're going to be going back to remote learning for the next 2 weeks.
That's right. We're talking about Reynolds Middle School in Fairview. And as Catherine Cook explains this morning, the move back to distance learning has nothing to do with the COVID outbreak.
My daughter came home and said, Mom, we're not going to go to school after Thursday for 2 weeks. And I was like, well, what do you mean? She goes, here, I got this letter.
The news came as a surprise to most Reynolds Middle School parents, including Holly Keaton. Her daughter is in the 8th grade. Starting Monday, she and all Reynolds Middle School students will go back to remote learning for 2 weeks. They'll be off this Thursday and Friday so teachers can prepare. District officials say the reason for the in-person pause is not a COVID outbreak, but is related to the pandemic.
There were a lot of issues that some students, had a hard time adjusting to. It's kind of a snowball effect.
Steve Padilla is Assistant Director of Public Relations for the Reynolds School District. He says after months away from the classroom, COVID protocols, and stress, some students are struggling with the socialization skills needed for in-person learning.
But there were fights, there were safety issues, and those issues were causing a disruption in learning.
Padilla says the district will take the next 2 weeks to ensure Reynolds Middle School has the necessary social-emotional supports and safety protocols needed to provide a safe learning environment for everyone. He says options may include teachers on special assignment to help other teachers and more staff watching and talking with kids in the hallways.
This isn't something that we've gone through before. So this is a learn as you go type of situation.
Many schools can relate.
This year just feels harder than last year.
Carly Strauss is a school psychologist for Salem-Keizer Public Schools. With students coming out of isolation and dealing with a wide range of emotions, she says disruptive behaviors can vary.
Something we are advocating for is more support for mental health professionals in our schools, because we are definitely in a mental health crisis right now.
You just kind of have to weigh it all,
For parents like Holly, it's just one more worry. She's already dealt with 3 school-related quarantines this year.
I want my daughter to get the best education she can. It's her last year before high school, so it's kind of a crunch year, but at the same time, I understand safety, and obviously student safety is paramount.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Well, some students are fed up with Portland Public Schools' decision to delay a vote on a vaccine mandate for kids. So board members were slated to vote on the matter last night, but they had already decided to delay their decision. District staff asked them to wait 6 months to take action, saying COVID cases are no longer peaking and the county is getting closer to herd immunity. But some students expressed frustration.
Bringing this up for debate again in mid-May with less than a month to school will accomplish nothing. In my opinion, it's simply a foolish idea, and the damage will already have been done by then. You need to act now. you can't be scared of acting.
Our public health agencies are not recommending a mandate at this time, and it's not that I want to punt it over to them, but from the beginning we've said we're going to follow public health guidelines, and I think we have done that throughout the pandemic.
The board said it also needs more time to discuss protocols for quarantining, guidelines for athletes, and exemptions.
Wildfire recovery continues in the Santiam Canyon with some new support coming from a group of people who know what it's like to deal with wildfire devastation. Leaders with the California nonprofit After the Fire traveled to Oregon to see the burned areas of the Santiam Canyon for themselves. The nonprofit started after the 2017 wildfires in Northern California, and the idea behind the nonprofit is for fire survivors to help other fire survivors through sharing best practices and by brainstorming ways for a quicker recovery.
And they're making a really generous effort to help us learn from them and then also learn from our experience here in the Santiam Canyon. We can get through to the other side, but we're only going to be able to do that if we do it together in meetings like this today. That's the way forward.
Again, the group's name is After the Fire. Right now they're working in several areas throughout Oregon and California, and they say they hope their growing network of people who have lived through fires will help other future fire survivors.
Our warming climate and changes in the ocean could affect which species we can catch off the Oregon coast. Right now, the coast is known for Dungeness crab and salmon, but soon it could be known for squid. Oregon State University researcher James Watson and former OSU researcher Stephen Johnson analyzed 50 years of ocean data and numerous climate models to see how ocean conditions will change as the climate warms. They found they will change dramatically, meaning the species we're used to seeing in Oregon won't be here anymore.
Given all of the commitments countries have made, we're still looking at nearly half the ocean being different from the ocean we know of the last 50 years.
The scientists found that 60 to 87% of the ocean could see major changes. They're talking about more acidic, warmer water with less oxygen by the year 2060.
Okay, let's talk about working, because the pandemic has changed the way many people approach a work-life balance. So in the country of Portugal, there are some new laws to make that more clearly defined.
Yeah, one of the big laws, it's now illegal for bosses to contact employees after hours.
Whoa.
Don't call me. I probably won't call you either. There are some exceptions to that rule, but breaking the rules can result in a big fine for companies. Rules are aimed at people who work from home for the most part. And there are several other European countries who have even stricter laws about this, allowing workers to disconnect completely when they're not actually on the clock. How about that?
Shocking.
It's an idea that could be popular with Americans, you think? This is according to a survey done by Glassdoor.
Over the pandemic, the number of reviews that were mentioning work-life balance and mental health more than doubled. And so this really just goes to show that, workers really do care about these issues.
Portugal also passed other worker-friendly laws. For example, companies now have to pay for work-related expenses at home, like electricity and internet. Thank you very much. Analysts say, in addition to protecting workers, the laws may be an effort to attract more remote workers, that is, to the country.
I think that only makes sense, right? I mean, back in the day, we didn't have all those things to check, but I find, especially in the news business, it's almost 24/7. I have to turn off my notifications so I don't see what's happening here on Saturday and Sunday.
I think if you work on like commission or in sales, like you need to be, or a lot of people want to be connected. Yeah, especially, or like realtors or something like that, where this isn't going to work for them.
I do remember this was supposed to make things better or easier or something like that, right? Like 20 years ago when we started using the phones all the time, oh, it's going to be easier now. No, it just means we're on it all the time.
Yep.
Work never leaves my hand.
I know.
I'm taking it out of my hands right now. Go away.
To the person who has no trouble disconnecting from work, Rod Hill.
The only person you truly ever have to get right back to is your spouse, of course.
Good
one. Her name is Grayson, Rod. That's it. Everything else is optional. All right, here we go. We have some clouds over the city this morning. Basically, some fog pockets are kind of moving around, and we have some low cloud decks here and there. Partly cloudy out along the Columbia River, 38 degrees. Some of you are down into the 20s. In fact, Hillsboro, good morning. I think 28 has been your low so far this morning. So we're watching frosty spots. We're watching some fog pockets, and we're also watching east winds, which are just now starting to show signs. Troutdale east to 12, Happy Valley, Large Mountain up in Washington, all reporting a bit of an east wind, but otherwise it's fairly quiet across the area. Here's a look at a fog map. Visibility down to 3 miles in Hillsboro, a little bit of fog up around the Columbia River too. No fog yet being reported down in Marion County on a widespread basis. Temperature map is really chilly. 36 Newport, 30s from Eugene up to Kelso. Seattle just above freezing. And look at the teens. Benz, Burns, and Baker City all in the teens this morning. Well, okay, so for today, we're completely dry all areas. We have east winds developing. That will clear out any morning fog. And then we go on to have sunshine. Now, tomorrow, Thursday, is cloudy. Here's tomorrow afternoon. In the afternoon hours, we start to look for some rain to develop. Weather models like most of this holding off until the evening, but that's not quite certain. We do know it's going to be raining steadily all of overnight, tomorrow night into Friday morning. There's Friday at 5 a.m. So rain coming again tomorrow p.m. through Friday a.m. hours. 50 today, 49 tomorrow with the developing rain. Friday afternoon becomes dry Friday night. The weekend is completely dry. We have morning fog though, and the wind pattern's light, so I'm not sure how long it takes to get rid of the fog this weekend, meaning afternoon sunshine is a bit of a tough call. Oh, yeah, don't answer the phone, speaking of calls.
Don't call Rod on the weekend. All right, thank you. Supply chain disruptions, they aren't all what they seem. We're going to explain some of the shortages and how they could affect some of the food products you might be buying for Thanksgiving. Plus, could your earbuds be causing brain damage? Our verified team debunks a claim you might be seeing that AirPods emit radiation. That's coming up.